All right, here we have a Magna intruder that I picked up on eBay for $14.99. Kind of hard to beat that deal. Reason why I chose it is because of its gyro and because it's steel frame construction means it's really easy to weld, plus it's simple to take apart. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this chain that we don't need. Easy as that. One way. Cut that off. I'm going to save these for later as well, in case you want to sell them, which I will. Flip this bad boy over. I thought these were loose. I'm just going to go at this sucker. This thing goes through it like butter. That's not good. Well, as you can see, we're almost entirely through it. Just a little bit left. I'm going to cut these back posts first. Then I will cut that the rest of the way through, just so it holds it up. On that side. Round. The other side. see what we got again. Gone through both. Now we're just going to cut right here along the bottom as close as you can as well to that. And then we'll have the whole top tube off. And it's free! Yay! So now we just have to cut that. Alright, well we got everything cut except for this little piece. I'm going to have to cut it at an angle. So we have it off. Pretty jagged, but I'm just going to grind that down with that grinder. I'll grind this down, and I'll grind these down, and you'll have a nice clean area to weld. I'm also going to use this top tube. I'm going to grind it down here so it's nice and flat. Actually, I might angle it so it's going to angle down. Then I'm going to take this part, cut this off. I'm going to cut these off, and I'm going to reuse this, I'm going to reuse this, I'm going to take this off right here. So I'm not going to use any of this stuff, I don't think. Maybe I will. I'm going to cut maybe here, there, this gets cut off. And I'll put a seat. So we're getting along the way on our Drift Trike build. It's going to be fun. Start to see what it might look like. Just a little bit. Gonna put pegs on the front. There we go. Alright, here we go. We're gonna cut a couple of top tubes, these tubes off right here. Let's just do it. There you have it. And I'm gonna use this. It's gonna get welded like that or so after being ground down. And that's gonna be the top tube for the trike. Now, we're gonna cut this off right here. I might cut this off later on, but currently I'm just gonna cut this off. There you have it. Top tube just needs to be ground. I'm gonna cut this off too, but I might just do that later. This is the only throwaway piece I have. Well, listen to chain. Runaway dog, runaway dog. So these are my only two pieces of throwaway. Not bad for a $14 bike. Okay, well, I was having a look at this thing. What I'm gonna do is it's gonna sit like this. It's gonna sit down on there like that. So I'm gonna have to cut about that much of this part off. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Tell you what, this tape was making it shoot back at me a lot. Very good. Interesting, it looks like it welded itself with the sparks from the other side. There's a thin layer right here. You can crunch right through, but it's weird. Never seen that before. Okay, thinks like the only part that's being held is right there. So I need to get to that. There you have it. Oh, found some unpainted steel. A little bit rusty. Just a little bit. Now I'm gonna got something like that. That's a lot better. Cut that little piece off. Cut this one. I'm gonna cut it at an angle, coming from this part to there. Look at that. I just need to cut off this spot. Looking pretty good, actually. I'll cut it down a little like that. So, here we have it. We'll get it down a little bit more. Actually, I'm going to cut that top tube at an angle. So then this will sit and we'll weld all of that together. So it's a whole lot of welding area. That's why I picked this bike. I liked it like that. And it'll have a little gap in between the two bars, but pretty small. I'll grind these down, make them all smooth. And then next video is going to be welding. Alright, so once again, let's take a look at the tools and stuff and the parts that I have left over that I used for this video. Well, I used pliers to take off the pedals. I used Phillips head screwdriver to take off the chain guide, and I like to label stuff with screws. So if I want to sell this on eBay, this is basically, I mean, it's brand new. It wasn't even barely scratched. Brand new pedals, gonna sell those on eBay. Brand new brakes. I mean, the brake pads don't even look like they've ever been scuffed. And brand new kickstand that has one scratch on it. So I don't know, I'm gonna sell these things. Then for the main part of the video, you watch me use the Chicago Electric angle grinder that I got. It was like 12 bucks for sale. I just got grinding wheels and a couple extra cutting wheels, and that was that. Now I just use this for screwdrivers and random stuff. And the only pieces that we have left over, these, the rear, a little bit scuffed up around the edge. I mean, basically brand new. And then we have just this, and we're using all this. I'm gonna try to run the double brake system on here, so it's gonna have front and rear like that. But I'm gonna shorten these up. Yeah, I'll have front and rear brake system. Not sure how I'm gonna do it. Maybe like that. And things gonna be sweet. All black. I'm gonna paint it whatever color. Haven't decided that yet. I think I'm gonna do a two-tone. That's it.